And this is one of those reasons why this video is going to be longer than 10 minutes. Just because of what I have to do and, you know, get my hand together and all types of fun stuff like that. And then I'm going to end up having to sharpen my milk. See, like, that's why this video is going to be long. Because I just got to prepare everything. Because I want to show you guys what it looks like under a shade stick. Because that's what I use all the time. And what, you know, a lot of people teach on YouTube to use. So, I'm going to show you a cheap version of something now. And an even cheaper version of something else. So, let's say, for example, you like the L'Oreal Hip Pigment, but let's say you're looking through your purse at the time and you're like, well shit, I don't have enough of this, but you can afford CoverGirl, which, by the way, if you get this one, comes with 3, and you like Forgiving in the Hip Pigment, which is this dark brown here, and then you see, let's see which one it's called. This is the eye enhancers, and this color would be Satin Earth, which is this color here. So if you look at both colors, you can see that they're kind of the same. And once again, I'm going to do a swatch. On my hand. First, I'm going to do the L'Oreal Hip one. And then wipe off my brush here. I'm going to come back with the eye enhancers from CoverGirl, which once again, this color is Satin Earth. And these, when I tell you guys that these look so much alike. So, there you have it. So this one is the L'Oreal, and this one is the CoverGirl. So you can see how those resemble one another, very much so. So you guys can see that there are also alternatives from cheap to cheaper. So that's another selection for you in case, you know, you get stuck in a rut and you don't have money for the L'Oreal, but you have enough for a CoverGirl one. Okay. The next thing I'm going to show you guys is a MAC one. This is Amber Lights by MAC. You guys can see it's kind of gone almost because it's one of my favorites. And by L'Oreal Hip, this is Saucy. This top gold color here. Then you have a darker brown down here, which there's also a color by MAC which it resembles. This is Illusionary Burning Ambition. This dark brown here. So first I'm going to put on the dark brown from MAC. Wipe off my brush. Put on the dark brown from the Hip collection. Now the dark brown from the Hip collection is actually a bit darker than the dark brown from MAC. But essentially, if you like the color from MAC, you'll be fine with the color from the L'Oreal. Now I put it on Amber Lights by MAC. And then I'm putting on the gold half from the Hip collection. Okay, here we go. Okay, you guys can see that there. Now this is MAC Burning Illusionary, the darker half. And this is the darker half from the Hip Pigment. So you can see that this one is a little bit darker than MAC's over here, but essentially pretty much basically the same color. Then up here, right here, this color is Max Amber Lights. And this is the gold portion from Hip. So you can see how those colors resemble one another, which those are purely identical to each other. So that's that for Amber Lights and for the Illusionary. So if you really like those, once again, this is the way to go. Oops, I'm dropping stuff. Hold on. Okay. Now I'm going to get to the fun part here. This is the part where I'm going to show you guys how to mix your eyeshadows. Now let me erase my hand here again. And this time, I wish I had, let me see. Got to sharpen my pencil. Okay. Again, I'm putting milk on my hand. And I'm not even gonna waste my time editing because this would take forever. So this is all just gonna be a billion part video. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys how to do a mixing. Now, let's say you like Max Motif. This is what Motif looks like. But when I put it on my hand, it's actually going to look different. You're going to see more of a pink hue. But you can't afford MAC. So, let me tell you what you're going to do. You're going to go out and you're going to buy 2 products by the Hip collection. You're going to go out and get the Duo in Flare. And you're also going to get the Hip Pigment in Fiery, which looks like this. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put Motif, swatch a Motif on my hand. And then I'm going to show you guys what the Motif looks like, because I told you it would look a little bit different outside of the pot. It has more of a, I can wipe my brush here so you guys don't think I'm cheating and mixing up color and stuff. This is what Motif looks like. As I move my hand, you should be able to see some of that pink hue in it. So now I'm going to take, in Flare, I'm going to take this lighter portion. I'm going to take that and put it right next to it. And you can kind of see how it's gonna become identical to that color, because it's already starting off in that same kind of family if you look at it from this inside portion here. So the next thing I'm going to do with that is take the other half of Flare, which is this side is actually orange. It's the orangey side. And just by taking a little bit, placing it and mixing it in with that color. And you can start out, you know, just taking little bit by little bit, because you don't want to use too much. And then the color comes out darker than Motif. So this is what it looks like now, mixed in with the orange. You can still see how it's becoming closer to that color, but without the pink hue in it. So that's where Fiery, this little pigment, comes in. You're going to take some of that, put a little bit in my cap. I'm going to take some of that